Welcome back to Golf Xtra. Jon Rahm is one of the most successful golfers in the world and just cemented his legacy with the win at the 2023 Masters. However, his life and career still has a fair amount of unknowns. There's definitely a lot to learn about all of the details about Jon Rahm and his unique life. Stay tuned here on Golf Xtra to find out more. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's get right into 5 things that you didn't know about Jon Rahm. 1. He attended Arizona State University. Jon Rahm originally grew up in Spain, but eventually decided to utilize his talents for golf in the American college system. He wasn't highly recruited at first, and it took a stroke of luck when a potential Arizona State transfer decided not to attend. Instead, Rahm was recommended to ASU head coach Tim Mickelson, who's the brother of famous golfer Phil Mickelson, and the rest is history. Rahm later said, "Tim took the chance without meeting me. He didn't know who I was, and he didn't know anything about me besides what he saw on paper, but he decided to take the chance. Luckily for me, it was a great option. Arizona State has a very rich golf program. Besides being able to study and play golf with some of the best players, coming from rainy, cold Barraca, Spain to lots of sunshine, it seemed like a very easy choice." It definitely seems like Rahm ended up with an upgrade going to ASU, but he still had big shoes to fill. His head coach's brother, better known as longtime golf star Phil Mickelson, also attended ASU, where he was undoubtedly the greatest player in school history. However, Mickelson is left-handed. So, as Rahm jokingly says, "They call me the best right-handed player in the history of the college." Having to live up to Phil Mickelson was a tall task for Rahm, but after a runner-up finish at the NCAA National Championship in his freshman year, it started to look possible that Rahm could take the throne as the greatest ASU player of all time. He later said, "That was when the comparisons with Phil really started, and I first became aware of them. Had I won the Nationals, I would have had the better freshman year. He won 16 tournaments, and he won the national championship 3 out of the 4 years. And the 1 year he didn't win, he came second. I do have the record for the lowest scoring average ever for a freshman, which is nice, but it's only really because technology has changed and the competition has got better and better. If I'm honest, the only thing I think I really did better than Phil was winning our home ASU event 3 out of the last 4 years I was there." While Rahm didn't quite meet the accolades of Mickelson, he had an excellent career in his own right, winning the Jack Nicklaus National Player of the Year award in his senior year. However, perhaps his greatest achievement was earning the support of Phil Mickelson, who touted him around the golf world, saying, "Jon doesn't have weaknesses. Every part of his game is a strength. I think he's more than just a good young player. I think he's one of the top players in the world." No doubt, Rahm appreciated this support from Mickelson, and he later said so. "The best thing he did for me was tell everybody I was going to be a top 10 player within 2 years. I've always believed in myself. But when somebody like Phil Mickelson puts their confidence in you and puts their name and credibility on the line for you, it's really amazing. It's helped me get to where I am right now." Who would have thought that the two would both be in the top couple places of the Masters in 2023? 2. He learned English by both avoiding burpees and listening to rap. We mentioned that Rahm was initially from Spain, and he grew up speaking Spanish as his primary language. Rahm grew up in a small town in northern Spain named Barraca. The town only had about 1,500 people, and Jon really didn't need to know any English to get by. When he moved over to Arizona State for college, he had to learn English in order to fit in the United States and at Arizona State, which had more than 50,000 people just on its campus. As Rahm said, "When I showed up to my first class, there were 375 people, and I came from a high school where the biggest class was 30 people. It was pretty different. I thought I walked into a movie theater, to be honest. I thought it was just a movie theater and I was in the wrong place. I'll never forget that." His coach at Arizona State, Tim Mickelson, knew that Rahm needed to learn English as fast as possible, and he came up with a unique strategy to make it happen. What he came up with was that Rahm was not allowed to speak Spanish in front of the team, and that for every word of Spanish spoken, Rahm had to do a burpee. However, Rahm came up with a unique way to combat this, instead deciding to utilize a piece of popular American culture to figure it out. As Rahm explained later, "A burpee's pretty much a push-up and jump up and back to push-up. So you say a sentence that has 10 words, you're making 10 burpees, and if he catches you having a 5-minute conversation, you don't want to know what's going to happen next. So just being scared of having to do that, I put myself into reading the syllabus daily, making the class readings, and to be honest, learning songs. Memorizing rap songs in English is actually something that helped me out a lot." Rahm also said that he had a couple of favorite songs that really helped him to learn English, specifically Swimming Pools by Kendrick Lamar and Love the Way You Lie by Eminem. 3. Rahm made 2 holes in 1 at the 2020 Masters. Rahm just won the 2023 Masters, which is undoubtedly his most impressive achievement at the event. However, he also made headlines in the 2020 event despite falling short of the win. Rahm made 2 hole-in-ones on consecutive days during his practice rounds, first holing out at the 4th on Monday and then skipping a ball across the water on the 16th on Tuesday in one of the most viral shots of the year. To make things even more impressive, it was Rahm's birthday on that Tuesday. As he said later, yeah, pretty nice birthday present, can't complain. Despite how impressive these shots were, Rahm wasn't quite as floored by them as the rest of the golf world. That's mainly because his Tuesday hole-in-one was actually his second drive. He had first shot one close and decided to just try to skip one across the water for his second drive. So Rahm isn't counting it, saying, "The one on 16 doesn't really count as an ace. With the one on 4 yesterday, that's 4, 2 in competition. We think there are plenty more of those in his future though." 4. He treated himself to a Porsche. With a great deal of success under his belt at only 21 years of age, Rahm decided to treat himself to a brand new car, a Porsche at that. He would later talk about it to Golf Digest, saying, "It's good for me to see it, wake up every day and see what I've accomplished the last 8 years." The young PGA Tour star had never had that kind of flash before, and it showed in his description of his new car, as Golf Digest documented. Indeed, the sports car isn't necessarily Rahm's style. The humble 21-year-old from Spain wouldn't say what kind of Porsche he bought, partly out of fear of being too braggadocio. Maybe there will be even more luxurious purchases in his future. 5. Athletic Bilbao supporter. Since he grew up in Basque country, it's not surprising that Rahm loves soccer and his local team, Athletic Bilbao. Rahm grew up playing soccer and was actually a promising goalkeeper who dreamed of playing for his local team. While he obviously chose golf eventually, soccer remains a part of his life. He still supports Athletic Bilbao and frequently attends and watches the club's matches. When he had his first child named Kepa, many people assumed he was a Chelsea fan because of their goalkeeper of the same name. However, Rahm explained later, "The name Kepa is Basque. It's where I'm from, in the Basque country, and when we were going through Basque names, because she, Kelly, agreed to honor my heritage that way, we just had to find one that she could pronounce, and that's the one we came up with that she really liked. But I do think a lot of people believe I'm a Chelsea fan now. No matter what, Rahm remains a big supporter of Athletic Bilbao." So, what do you think about our list of 5 things you didn't know about Jon Rahm? What new car do you think he'll buy with his Masters winnings? Be sure to leave us a comment with what you think down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch our latest content updates as soon as they drop. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.